inaasahan, ang kabalikat ng bayan. Handog sa miyembro, serbisyong magkabago Express.
So, without further ado, to discuss the retirement benefit, dito natin matututunan paano nga bang hino-compute yung retirement? Ano nga ba na yung mga dapat nating ihanda? Check natin yung records natin para makapag-file ng retirement benefit. So to discuss the SSS retirement benefit, we do have the Senior Communications Analyst from the Member Education Department. Help me welcome with a virtual round of applause, Sir Forty Remandeman.
Thank you so much, Sir Rodel. Let me just share my presentation.
Yes, Sir Forty. Loud and clear, and I think your presentation is already visible from my end. Hopefully, ganun din sa ating mga ka-eskwela. So, the virtual floor is yours, Sir Forty.
And thank you so much. Ayan, again, mabuting araw po sa inyong lahat and welcome to our 5th episode ng eSkwela webinar natin. First topic will be about the retirement benefit. And as mentioned, we'll be discussing about the qualifying conditions. What are the documentary requirements for us to be able to apply for retirement benefit? Paano yung online na proseso ng pag-apply, which we highly recommend kasi mas convenient na din yun, and mas accessible para sa mga members natin. As mentioned, computations will also be discussed, and we've prepared yung mga frequently asked questions as well as yung mga most common na encounter na errors pagdating sa filing ng application. And I hope that all of this will be of help sa inyong lahat, para mas maging madali nga yung pagproseso natin sa ating retirement benefit. So, yan, hindi ko na din papatagalin pa para ma-maximize natin yung oras before tayo mag-discuss kung ano yung mga qualifying conditions. It's very important for us to define nga muna ano ba ang retirement benefit, no? So itong benefit na to, like any other benefit being offered by SSS, yung idea kasi na to is lahat ng benefits ni SSS, ibinibigay whenever there is a loss of income on our part. So for this type of benefit, halimbawa, hindi na nakapagtrabaho or hindi nakapasok, nawala ng trabaho dahil sa edad, merong retirement benefit. Same sa case of sickness. Halimbawa, hindi nakapasok, hindi nakapagtrabaho dahil nagkaroon ng sakit or injury. That's the time na makapag-file ng sickness. So again, in this case, dahil sa edad, hindi na makapagtrabaho, then we have our retirement benefit. Okay? Now, majority of us thinks na pagdating ng 60 years old, automatically we can immediately apply for retirement benefit. Yun yung madalas na naisip natin, kasi we'll just wait for parang mag-60 and automatic apply na tayo ng retirement benefit, which is not totally the case. Kasi pag nag-60 tayo, that is just an optional retirement age, So between 60 hanggang 64 bago mag-65, so that's 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 64 rather, makakapag-apply lang tayo ng retirement benefit kung meron ng loss of income sa part natin or we are no longer connected from work. Okay? So ibig sabihin, if nagtatrabaho pa tayo at the age of 60, 61, 62, 63, 64 bago mag-65, we cannot yet apply for retirement benefit. Okay, I hope that you can follow. So, hindi pa rin. So, ibig sabihin, yun nga, kung employed ka pa rin, 60 years old, ang mangyayari dyan, tuloy pa rin yung coverage natin kay SSS and tuloy pa rin yung maging deductions until tayo ay mawalan na ng trabaho or mag-65 years old, alin man dun yung mauna. Okay? Kasi pag nag-65 years old naman na, dito, working or not, pwede na tayo mag-apply for retirement, especially if you're qualified for monthly pension na din. Now, what if naman sabihin na natin mga scenario, 55 years old, already separated from employment, hindi nagtatrabaho. Parang nag-retire na sa company, 55 years old pa lang. And you don't plan on continuing your contributions with SSS. Ayaw nyo na din magtrabaho hanggang mag-60. So, pag gano'n, sabihin nyo parang, technically, wala naman ng income, di ba? May loss of income na. Can I now apply for retirement benefit? Di ba? Kasi wala ng work eh. Now, In that case, if already separated from employment, kung wala ng trabaho, yung earliest filing natin for retirement benefit is on our 60th birthday. Yun na din talaga yung pinakamaaga. Okay? Yun na yung pinakamaaga. 60 kung hindi na nagtatrabaho. But if still working, kailangan tuloy pa rin yung coverage and contributions natin kay SSS. Again, until mawala ng trabaho or mag-65, alin man po doon yung mauna. Now, there are also cases, halimbawa, nung nag-60, yes, nag-retire, stop na sa work, no? And then, you applied for retirement benefit kasi nga, wala nang work. And then, you've been granted a retirement benefit. Na-aprubahan yung retirement plan. Kasi wala naman ng trabaho, 60 years old naman na din. Okay. Then qualified for pension, halimbawa. Then you're receiving your monthly pension na din. No, nung 62 years old, nagtrabaho ulit. Parang ginustong mag-work ulit. So what will happen dun sa pension? Kasi nabigay na eh, diba? Nung 60, tama naman yung pag-apply kasi hindi naman na nagtatrabaho. So happens na pagdating ng 62, gusto pa rin mag-work. And then nakapag-work, naghanap ng work. So what will happen to the pension? So it will be suspended. Okay. Since hindi pa 65 years old, subject to compulsory coverage pa din. Okay. Re-report pa rin ng employer and then magkakaroon pa rin ng deductions. So mangyayari doon, again, pension will be suspended. Tapos, magre-reapply na lang siya ng retirement kung kailan masa-separate ulit from employment or mag-65, alin man doon yung mauna. And then pag nag-reapply, magkakaroon ng recomputation of pension kasi may mga additional contributions. So ganun yung nangyayari. Okay? Na kung may magtatanong pa din dito, meron pa bang mas mababa yung retirement age, no? So there are dalawa, no, na professions na nilower yung retirement age. Isa doon is yung mga racehorse jockeys, yung mga hinete, no? Based on their respective RA 10789, wala silang optional, no? Compulsory retirement nila is at 55 years old. Diba? Effective May 24 of 2016. Racehorse jockeys and mine workers yung isa. Ayan. Mine workers based on RE 757, optional is at 50 years old, tapos 60 naman yung compulsory retirement. April 27, 2016 yung effectivity. Now, magtatanong bakit naman sa dalawa, no, dalawa lang yung merong lowered retirement age. Well, based on their respective RAs, based doon sa study din, dahil sa nature of work, mas maiksi yung lifespan, thus lowering yung yung retirement age nila. And for you to be considered a mine worker, racehorse jockey, kailangan you've been under this profession for at least 5 years. And yung 5 years na yon, hindi naman kailangan tuloy-tuloy. Either tuloy-tuloy, consecutive or accumulated yung 5 years. So parang 60 months ka na naging mine worker or racehorse jockey para ma-consider. And para mas maaga yung retirement date ninyo. Okay, so yun lang exemption, no? So para dun sa mga iba na hindi mine worker, racehorse jockey, earliest filing, ulitin ko lang, is on your 60th birthday, provided that you already separated from employment. Otherwise, pinakamaaga is 65th birthday or kung kailan kayo masaseparate from employment between 60 to 64. Okay? Yan. So other conditions, I hope na nakakasunod pa rin yung mga participants natin. I've been mentioning na yung monthly pension natin. So for us to qualify for a monthly pension, you must have at least 120 monthly contributions bago yung semester of retirement. So 120 months for para equivalent siya ng 10 years. And don't worry kasi even if there are gaps in between, let's say for example, there was a time in your membership with SSS na hindi ko nakapaghulog for months or even years, no? About 3 years, 5 years hindi ko nakapaghulog. Okay lang naman din as long as upon retirement, bago yung semester of retirement, meron kayong at least 120, you will still qualify for monthly pension. Kasi yung tinitingnan natin dito is totality for posted contributions naman. Diba? And pag hindi umabot ng 120, meron pa rin namang retirement benefit pero lump sum amount. Diba? Is parang isang bagsakan siya. Ayan. So monthly pension, again, 120 months bago yung semester of retirement. And pag less than, Yan, lump sum, less than 120. Now, especially, I will just have to emphasize this as well. Yung 120 months na to, hindi to yung goal lang natin, no? Yung entire contribution natin na parang i-aim lang natin 120. Kasi itong 120 na to, parang ito lang yung magsisecure sa inyo na upon retirement, if you have this number of contributions, entitled kayo sa monthly pension. Otherwise kasi, yun nga, lump sum. Diba? It will still vary pagdating sa amount ng pension ninyo, kung gaano kayo katagal naging member, and kung gaano kalaki and kadami yung monthly contributions ninyo. So, yung 120, again, sinisigurado lang na upon retirement, upon filing of retirement, ang matatanggap ninyong type of benefit is monthly pension. And once granted a monthly pension, lifetime yun. Okay? Lifetime yung may enjoy yung benefit. Okay? Now, isa pang scenario. There are also cases, no, na paano kung late na naging member ni SSS? Say for example, 55 na naging member ni SSS, no? And 68ing member, hindi na rin nagtatrabaho, and hindi pa naka 120 months na contributions. So 68 na, paano yun? Automatic filing na ng retirement and then lump sum kasi nasa compulsory retirement na din siya, no? So in that case, there's still an option, no? Kasi even if 68 na lagpas 65, if yung member natin is able and willing to continue paying their contribution kahit as voluntary member, makumpleto lang yung 120 months just to qualify for pension, pwede yun, we allow it, no? So pero nasa member na yun, no? Makumpleto mo lang yung 120 months para at least again mag-qualify to a monthly pension. Kasi nga lifetime. So even if mag-exceed ang 65, if willing yung member, hindi pa siya na 120, gusto niya ipagpatuloy, and kaya naman, pwede naman, no? Magpatuloy, pero hanggang 120 months lang na contribution. Yan. Now, if you're also qualified for a monthly pension, you have an option to get an advance yung first 18 months pension ninyo. Ang yung option na to available upon application ng retirement, even online, no? So, kung in-avail natin to, upon approval of your retirement claim, for the next 18 months, wala tayong matatanggap ng monthly pension kasi kinuha na natin yun in advance. Sa initial pay, parang ibibigay na yun din doon, yung kasama yung 18 months, kung i-avail niyo yung option na to. Matatanggap nyo yung buwan ng pension ninyo on the 19th month and yung mga susunod na buwan. And automatic na yun, ha. You don't need to file for it separately kasi parang naka-program na yan na automatic on the 19th month, meron na makikredit dun sa account ninyo. Diba? Pero pag hindi naman nag-avail ng advance 18 months na option, usually ang na-advance yan mga 2 months, no, from approval. Okay? For approval, may 2 months na na-advance na. Then monthly pension na kayo. Every December, meron din tayong 13-month pension. Nadodoble yung basic monthly pension ng ating mga retirees every December. Yan. Okay? 13-month pension every December. And kung upon retirement, upon retirement, meron kayong minor, no? Minor na anak, those that are below 21 years old, they will be entitled to the dependence pension. Magkano? Depende sa basic monthly pension ninyo, 10% yung makukuha nila or 250 pesos, whichever is higher bawat isang bata, no? So halimbawa tumatanggap ka ng monthly pension na 15,000 a month, so merong tig 1.5 yung minor child or children ninyo. So sino ba yung pwede i-consider natin dito sa minor or mga dependents na makakatanggap ng benefit na to? Those that are below 21 years old, okay, whether legitimated, legally adopted, and illegitimate children or child, basta hindi pa nakapag-asawa, not gainfully employed, pwede, considered. So below 21, pag nag-21 kasi, stop na yon, hindi na sila considered minor dependent. Pero, halimbawa, yung anak or yung child, while still a minor, is physically and mentally incapacitated of self-support, kahit lumagpas ng 21 years old, tuloy pa rin yung dependence pension. Kasi nga, nakadepende sila dun sa ating member or pensioner. No? Kaya, tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung magiging monthly pension nila or yung magiging dependence pension nila. Now, ano pa yung mga i-consider natin for our dependents? No? Ilang minor ba i-consider natin? So, 5. Starting from the youngest. No? So, halimbawa, meron tayong 5 slots. Yung ika-count natin as number 1, yung pinakabata, yung pinakamatagal mag-21, kasi siya yung pinakamatagal na nakadepende dun sa ating member. No? So, only 5 minor children, starting from the youngest and walang substitution. So kung halimbawa, we were able to determine na upon retirement yung 5 minor and then yung isa nag-21 na, then nagkaanak ulit ng bago. Diba? So hindi na yun pwede. Walang sa substitution. Whoever yung 5 minor children na determine natin upon retirement, upon contingency, sila na yung tatanggap ng pension, ng benefit until mag-21, makapag-asawa, makapagtrabaho, whichever comes first or mamatay. No? Now, kung yung retiree natin, merong less than 5 legitimated, or legally adopted children, yung illegitimate, okay, yun ipapasok natin sila dun sa 5 slots. And yung share ng illegitimate is half nung share nung legitimated or legally adopted. Okay? Ngayon, kung halimbawa, collective, no, lagpas sa 5 lahat yung merong legitimate, merong illegitimate, lagpas sa 5 lahat yung bilang ng minor. Diba? Preferred natin ay pangpuno sa slots yung legitimated, and legally adopted. Let's say, for example, merong 5 no, na legitimate. And then merong 2 minor din na illegitimate. So yung sa 5 slots, preferred natin ipangpuno yung 5 na legitimate, okay, over dun sa illegitimate. Pero kung sakali man na merong 3 lang, no? 3 legitimate, tapos 3 din sa illegitimate. So, dun sa 5, 3 yung pang ibibigay nating slot sa legitimate child or children, tapos yung 2 kukunin natin sa legitimate. Preferred natin, again, ipang puno sa slots, yung mga legitimate or legitimated or legally adopted children. Yan. Sorry. Pagdating sa date of retirement, kasi ito, kailan ba pwedeng mag-file ng retirement? Kailan ba pwedeng ma-consider na pwede na ako for retirement benefit? No? Kung employed ka between 60 to 64, kung kailan yung date of separation, yun yung maging date of retirement ninyo. Okay? If already separated from employment, pinakamaagas mentioned kanina is 60th birthday na. If already, halimbawa yun niya, separated from employment ng 50 years old pa lang, hindi na nagtrabaho, hindi na nag-contribute kay SSS, so pinakamaaga is 60th birthday. Or 65th birthday, regardless if employed or self-employed or not. Diba? Kasi ito yung compulsory na provided din na sana meron ng 120 months na contributions. Okay? Para mag-qualify for pension. No, itong pang-apat, month after the semester of 120th contribution. Ito nag-a-apply to dun sa scenario natin kanina na naghabol ng contribution kahit lagpas na 65. No? Since yung condition na, kung maalala ninyo, no, yung 120 months kasi, para mag-pension, nakalagay doon, 120 months na contributions yung posted bago yung semester of retirement or contingency. So pag halimbawa naghabol ng 120 months lang na contributions, usually ang nangyayari dyan, some of you might have observed this one or mga naka-encounter, if you know someone in encounter, inuusog natin forward yung date of retirement para pag nag-semester tayo ng contingency, lahat ng contributions are still accounted for. Diba? Ito yung example. Yan. Halimbawa, yung May ng 2011, ito yung kanyang pang 120th contribution. Nakalagay doon sa example natin na month after the semester of contingency. Diba? And take note, when we say contingency, it refers to 2 consecutive na quarter. Tama, or 6 months in total. Pero 2 consecutive quarters nun. And in a calendar year, tayo ay merong 4 na quarters, no? Ito, January to March, April to June, July to September, October to December. Now, the first step is to determine kung anong quarter belong yung pang 120th month na contribution. So in this case, May yung pang 120th month, pang second quarter siya, di ba? Now, pagdating sa filing ng retirement, ito lang yung kakaiba pagdating sa semester kasi pa-forward to. Kasi we really have to adjust yung date of retirement para masama pa rin to pag nag-semester tayo. Diba? So, determine natin, anong quarter belong yung pang 120th month? So, in this example, it falls on the second quarter of the year. Diba? April to June. So, to form a semester, kailangan natin i-pair siya ng kasunod na quarter to form a semester. So, kung pang second quarter yung pang 120th month, we pair it up with the third quarter, yung kasunod. Ito second quarter to ito third quarter. Ito kasi first and fourth. Diba? So, pang second quarter, andito yung pang 120th na contribution. Pair it up with our third quarter to form a semester of contingency kasi dalawang ano na yon, magkasunod na quarter, one semester na yon. So, ibig sabihin, dun sa condition natin, month after nung semester, kung ito yung semester natin, April to September, no, earliest filing is on October 1st. So, na-move. Pagdating dito sa June, July, August, September, you don't need to pay your contributions na. We just adjusted lang talaga yung date of retirement para masama itong pang 120 na contributions ninyo pag nag-check tayo ng eligibility. Okay? So I hope that follows. Pero again, itong rule naman na to nag-a-apply lang para dun sa mga naghabol ng contribution or hanggang 120th man lang yung contribution. Diba? So October 1 yung earliest filing. So again, ang yung step is to determine anong quarter belong yung pang 120th month na contribution, tapos partneran yun ng quarter pa-forward or yung kasunod niyang quarter, tapos yun yung semester na yun, pagsamahin, tapos yung month after yung semester, yun yung earliest filing. Okay? So yun, now, ito naman kasi majority of us also are wondering, paano ba na-determine yung ating monthly pension, no? So there are 3 factors to consider. First up is the average monthly salary credit or AMSC, or ito yung number and amount of monthly contributions paid ng ating member, credited years of service or CYS, gaano katagal naging member ng SSS, and kung merong dependent child or children. Ba? Now, in determining the average monthly salary credit or AMSC, pwede nating kunin yung last 60 monthly salary credits. Ito yung parang sinasabi na yung last 5 years, no, kailangan mataas din daw yung contribution. Which is partly correct kasi nga, in terms of AMSC lang, isang way to determine is to get yung last 60 monthly salary credits, sum them up, and then we divide it by 60. Then that's your AMSC. Diba? So parang last 5 years na contributions. Or, kung alin yung mas mataas dito, yung sum ng lahat ng monthly salary credits ninyo divided by the same number of months na meron. Halimbawa, if you have like 140 months na contributions, so lahat ng monthly salary credit ng 140 months, we sum them up, and then we divide it by 140 din. Okay? Pero usually, based on my personal observation, madalas ang nangyayari dito is yung first option, no? The first one yields a higher computation kasi nga, kung isa-sum up natin lahat ng monthly salary credit, kahit yung mga contributions ninyo ng mga 1990s, 1980s, kung meron man, mabababa pa kasi yung monthly salary credit nun eh. Kaya minsan nahatak, diba? And don't worry kasi when we check on these two formulas or way of computation, kung alin yung mas mataas, yun naman yung i-consider natin na AMSC or average monthly salary credit. Yan. Now, For you to have an idea paano naman natin kinukuha yung CYS or the credited years of service, we have A plus B plus C, na yung A, para dun sa mga naging member ni SSS bago mag 1985, diba? Para lang yung letter A, applicable lang ha ulit, para dun sa mga members natin na naging member bago mag 1985. So, yung 1985 less yung year kung kailan kayo naging member ni SSS or yung year of coverage ninyo, yung difference nun, automatic, that will be your CYS or credited years of service for letter A. Now, kung naging member tayo ni SSS from 1985 onwards, yung letter A hindi na applicable sa atin. Only for those, again, who were a member of SSS prior 1985. Kung between 1985 to 2001, sa letter B na lang tayo. We will not be computing for letter A anymore. Now, between 1985 naman to 2001, okay, dito, para makapag-count tayo ng 1 CYS, kailangan every calendar year, that's from between January to December, kailangan merong at least 6 months na contributions, not necessarily consecutive. Basta pasok sa 12-month period, that will be counted as 1 CYS. Halimbawa, no? Noong 1985, between January to December, meron kang 7 months. So, mangyayari doon, counted as 1 CYS. No? Pero noong 1986, between January to December, meron ka lang 4 months. Hindi yun masasama sa bilang. We skip and move on to the next year, 1987. Kung 1987, kompleto January to December, 12 months, that will be counted as 1 CYS. Tapos 1988, between January to December, meron lang kayong tatlo na contributions. So, mangyari doon, hindi siya makakount ulit. We skip and move on to the next year. So, ganun. So, bibilangin lang natin kung ilang calendar year ang merong 6 months per year din between 1985 to 2001. Then, total natin, that will be your CYS for letter B. For letter C naman, dito ang nangyayari kakaiba kasi per month na yung bilang natin. So, parang nag-iipon na tayo ng months, nagbibilang tayo ng months, regardless kung magkakaibang taon yon. And every 12 months na may ipon natin, that will be counted as 1 CYS, kahit magkakaibang years yon. Diba? So from January 2002 up to month bago yung semester of retirement, pwedeng i-add natin, bilangin natin ilang months lahat yung contributions na yon and then divide by 12. Kung meron na, i-add natin yung CYS natin for A, B, and C and that will be your total CYS para dun sa gagamitin natin computation ng inyong monthly pension. And for the formula, we have 3. No? Kung alin yung pinakamataas dito, first up is 300 plus 20% of your average monthly salary credit plus 2% of your average monthly salary credit multiplied by credited years of service in excess of 10 years or 40% of your average monthly salary credit or minimum pension set by law for total disability and death, 1,000 per month, 1 to naman retirement if merong at least 10 na CYS, 2-4 pag at least 20 CYS. Di pa kasama dyan yung additional 1,000 na benefit. Yan. Okay? So, halimbawa, ito may sample exercise kami dito. Para ma-visualize nyo lang din. So, dito halimbawa, yung member natin magpa-file ng retirement on April 2013. Pinanganak na ng August 16, 1951 and has been employed continuously. So, ibig sabihin, wala siyang gap sa kanyang contributions, no? From August 1972. Provided na yung average monthly salary credit which amounts to 20,000. So, paano ba natin ito i-compute, no? Una, provided naman na yung AMSC, 20,000. So, we have to compute for CYS na lang. Diba? So, ito. For letter A, diba? Naging member daw siya ni SSS, 1972. So, 1985 less 1972, magkano yung difference? 13. So, that's your CYS for letter A. No? For letter B naman, that's between 1985 to 2001, kailangan, di ba, sabi natin, merong at least 6 months, no, per calendar year to count 1 CYS. So dun sa problem natin kasi employed continuously naman, so bilangin na lang natin manually. 1985 ang 2001, that's 17 years. So yun yung CYS natin for letter B. And for letter C, di ba? Yung filing niya kasi is April, di ba, of 2013. Tama? Yan. And kung mag-semester tayo ng retirement, eto, paatras naman to, no? Yung usual na semester natin. Ito yung mga quarters natin, no? Ay, sorry. Mag-pass. Yan. So, first, second, third, fourth quarter. Kung nag-retire ng fourth quarter, ito pag lagpas 120, puro patras na yung consider naman natin na pag-quartering or pag-semestering. So, retirement is April, second quarter, we pair it up with the previous quarter. So, yung kanyang semester is January to June. Ayan. So, hindi natin ito consider, hindi isasama yung contribution. Yung i-account natin na contribution niya is until December lang of 2012. So parang 12 months times 11 years kasi tuloy-tuloy nga yung contribution niya divided by 12, so that's 11 years then. No, yung kanyang CYS. So if we were able to get CYS for letter A, B, and C, we sum them up, 13, 17, and 11, so that's a total of 41 CYS. Diba? And using the first formula, yung ito, if we substitute yung mga values natin, then we'll get 16,700 na computation for monthly pension. And this is the first formula. Second one, AMSC natin is 20,000. So what is 40% of that? That's 8,000. No? And dun sa formula number 3 natin, or the minimum pension set by law, since meron siyang 41 na CYS, applicable sa kanya yung 2-4. Diba? So, dun sa tatlong options natin, ang pagpipilian, ayan, 16,700, 8,000, 2-4. So, kung alin yung may pinakamataas, yun yung ibibigay natin sa pensioner. In this case, that's 16,700 plus yung additional 1,000 na benefit, yung monthly pension will be 17,700. Diba? Monthly. So, ganun siya. Okay? Ayan. So, don't worry din naman if we didn't get yung computation manually kasi meron naman tayong benefit calculator sa ating website. No? So, if you're close to filing your retirement benefit already, I'd suggest to visit our website. No? If you want to have an idea kung magkano yung possible retirement benefit, you can check that one out. Click nyo lang po yung benefit calculator. Just find it on our homepage. Or try nyo check eligibility on your online account, My.SS account. No? And speaking of My.SS account, pag filing, no, actually pwede pa rin naman. Meron tayong options to file for our retirement benefit. No? Pwede tayo mag over-the-counter, pero I would suggest na before going to the branch, no, mag-set muna kayo ng appointment para hindi na ganun din pumila. Maximize yung appointment system natin available in your online account para hindi na din matagalan or hindi na kayo pumila dun sa office natin. Pero, before applying for one, we highly encourage to enroll muna ng disbursement account. You must have an approved disbursement account in your disbursement account and enrollment module para pag na-approve na yung inyong retirement benefit, yung monthly pension will automatically be credited doon sa inyong disbursement account. Okay? Tapos, download the form. It can be downloaded on our website, www.ss.gov.ph. Submit nyo po yung retirement claim application form and supporting documents doon sa pinakamalapit na SS office sa inyo and wait for an official notice and monitor your application through your online account or pwede kayo mag-email sa amin. Usap tayo at ss.gov.ph. Okay? So, basic requirements natin is yung form at saka yung valid ID. Form can be downloaded on our website po. Ayan. Pag kayo po ay nag-submit ng mga documents, no? Kailangan dala yung original and ipipresent, no? And a photocopy nyo na po. Ayan. Para sa mga employed members din, kung less than 65, kailangan merong certificate of employment or certificate of separation from your previous employer. Kasi kung again, wala pang compulsory retirement age, kailangan na merong certificate of separation para makapag-apply. Katunayan na hindi na nga connected from work anymore. Okay. Pag meron mga dependent child or children na hindi na i-report through E4, marriage certificate, birth certificate ng mga bata kasama. Okay? Yan yung mga basic documentary requirements natin. You can also check that one out dun sa likod ng application form. Also, kung gusto niyo mas convenient, 'di ba? Kung wala namang minor din na isasabay kasi 'di ba pag retirement, kung meron mga minor child or children, kasama sila, tatanggap ng dependent pension. Pag online kasi, pag merong dependent or merong minor, hindi siya magpo-proceed, kailangan mag over-the-counter na application or kung naging minor worker, resource jockey, kailangan po na over-the-counter na yon. Pero wala naman, pwede yung smooth application natin through my.s account. And actually, no, pag online kayo nag-apply, wala na halos documentary requirements na kakailanganin. You just have to make sure that all your records are correct, yung name tama, nandun lahat ng mga contributions ninyo sa employment history ninyo, all employers that you've worked with are reflected on your employment history para walang ma-miss out when we determine or when we compute for your retirement benefit. And we encourage everyone as early as now, no, make it a habit to monitor your record. And if you've noticed something na may problem, as early as now, have it corrected. Please don't wait for your retirement benefit para dun sa correction na yon kasi it could cause delay. Siyempre, before we process, unahin muna natin ayusin yung record ninyo. And it could cause delay dun sa mismong processing ng retirement benefit. As early as now, paayos na natin yung record. Now, going back sa application natin, under benefits, click nyo lang po yung retirement claim. Tapos dito, you'll be asked if you need to update your records or hindi naman na. If all is good, lagay nyo pala dito muna yung date of separation, no? Then click proceed. Then, yan. Review nyo lang yung employment history. Dito, kailangan naka-reflect lahat, no? In case of discrepancy, again, coordinate muna sa previous employer ninyo or visit the nearest SSS office. Okay? Kung okay naman yung information, okay, dito din, check niyo kung naging mine worker or if you want to avail yung advance 18 months pension, yan. Kung hindi, ano niya lang, no lang. Kung gusto, yes. Yan. Tapos disbursement account, piliin kung saan i-credit, then proceed. No? Ayan, kagaya na ito. Ito yung question kanina. Have you been a resource jockey or mine worker? Meron ba kayong minor? Tapos, piliin lang sa yung disbursement account. Then proceed. No? Tapos, bibigyan kayo ng summary kung magkano yung matatanggap. If all is good, ito para sa lump sum amount. Kung pension, lalabas naman yan dyan. Kung magkano yung maging monthly pension. Click yung certification, and then click apply. Tapos, you have your transaction number. Diba? Okay na. Actually, pag online account, wala kayong kahit ID, hindi kayo mag-upload eh. Just make sure lang talaga na tama yung mga records. Tama yung name, birthday, walang problema. Diba? Kasi, actually, hindi din naman kayo makakapag-proceed ng application sa retirement hanggat wala kayong disbursement account, yung bank account na naka-enroll. And for you to enroll a bank account, kailangan nagmamatch yung bank details ninyo versus yung record niyo sa SSS. And that way, we'll also be able to check, no? We'll be able also to check kung may discrepancy nga din sa record ninyo. So, hindi talaga makakapag-proceed. Sa enrollment pa lang ng bank account, magkaka-problem na. Diba? Now, dito, pwede nyo i-monitor. Dun sa benefit retirement claim, andito na po yung pag-check ng status makikita nyo po. Pwede nyo siyang i-click kung ano yung status nung inyong retirement claim. Now, if recently separated from employment, no, for the last 12 months, bago yung application, merong contribution as an employed member, kailangan i-certify yan ng previous employer ninyo, yung latest employer ninyo, na talagang hindi na kayo connected from work, especially kung yung edad is 60 to 64 lang bago mag 65. No? So, for employer, POV ni employer to. So, under their services, certification of benefit claim, tapos retirement. Yes. Certify nila yung application. And always check your registered email address for retirement benefit claim application or notices from SSS. Yan. Now, ito yung some of the frequently asked questions that we encountered, and we prepared it, and then we have gathered it for us, for you to be aware din, no? Baka question nyo na din to. So, ito na yon para may idea din kayo, no? Ito, una, yung lump sum ba na benefit, iba yun dun sa 18 months advance pension? The answer is yes, no? Ang lump sum na term, ginagamit natin yan kung hindi qualified sa monthly pension. Diba? Yung advance 18 months, ito yung option na pwede nyo i-avail para makuha ninyo ng mas maaga yung monthly pension ninyo equivalent to 18 months. Diba? Pero madalas ang tawag din sa minsan may mga members natin na, magpe-pension ako pero maglalamp sum muna ako ng 18 months. Pag nag-monthly pension ka kasi, technically speaking, hindi ka na qualified for lump sum. Kasi ang lump sum para lang dun sa hindi naka 120 months. Correct. So yung proper term talaga is advance 18 months. And there are two different things. No? Yan. Next up, ano yung epekto na para sa mga retiree pensioner natin na tumatanggap na ng pension, kasi pensioner na, pero nakapagtrabahong muli or nagkapag-negosyo, naging self-employed. Ito yung bago mag-65. No? So, na-mention ko na din kanina, pension will be suspended subject for compulsory retirement, coverage ulit sila and contribution until mag-65 years old or ma-separate from employment, whichever comes first. So, pwede nang gawin na lang, mag-reapply for retirement after nung employment or mag-65 man, alin man dun yung mauna. So, reapply na lang siya and there will be recomputation of pension. Okay? Yan. Now, itong pangalawang tanong. What if, kasi meron tayong death benefit din, di ba? Na ma-discuss naman later on. What if yung magfa-file ng retirement, tumatanggap na siya ng death benefit? Kasi halimbawa, maaga-aga nakuha or namatay yung spouse. No? Nagwo-work pa nga din, tumatanggap na ng death benefit yung ating member. Tapos ngayon, 60 years old na siya. No? 60 years old na. Tumatanggap na siya ng death benefit. Ngayon, pwede pa ba siyang mag-file ng retirement benefit para sa sarili niya? Diba? Hindi ba magdadalawang pension na yon? Okay. Well, in that case, the answer is yes. Pwede pa rin naman. Kasi two separate benefit naman yon. And yung death benefit kasi parang idea ng transfer of pension from the deceased member to surviving legal spouse. No? So, pwede pa rin naman. So, maring dalawang pension yung matanggap. Yung death benefit from the deceased spouse and his or her very own retirement pension. Yan. Now, another question. Gaano katagal tatanggap ng benefit yung mga dependent child natin or children? Well, tatanggap sila ng dependent pension hanggang mag-21. Pag nag-21, stop na. Makapagtrabaho, makapag-asawa, or mamatay, whichever comes first. Not unless if yung the dependent child, while still a minor, is physically and mentally incapacitated of self-support, kahit lumagpas ng 21 years old, tuloy pa rin yung magiging dependent pension niya. Yan. Now, may deadline ba ng application for retirement benefit? So, wala namang deadline or prescriptive period of filing for retirement benefit kahit ipasa nyo, halimbawa, magre-retire na kayo, entitled na sana kayo ng retirement benefit ngayon, ipasa nyo by December pa, okay lang yan, wala namang deadline. Pero, kung re-adjudication yan or adjustment nung approved ng retirement benefit, kailangan magawa nyo yan within 10 years. Yung parang i-contest yung claim, kumbaga, kailangan magawa nyo siya within 10 years from approval nung mismong claim. Pero kung application ng mismong retirement benefit or claim, wala naman po siyang deadline. Okay? So yun yung mga frequently asked questions. And for some of the common rejection reasons na hopefully hindi ninyo ma-encounter, but if you do, ito yung mga sagot sa mga rejection notices na to. Halimbawa, if you've applied for retirement and hindi kayo qualified dahil meron daw abrupt increase ng contribution. So, nangyari nun, pag hindi na kayo makakapag-file online, diba? So, over-the-counter apply, tapos, pag nag-apply dun sa SS office natin, actually, sila na din yun, yung magre-request para dun sa clearance. You'll just have to wait and then update kung makli-clear na. Kasi baka merong for refund ng contribution or meron kayong mga underpayment, no? Dun sa contributions ninyo na kailangan yung bayaran yung difference para pumasok sa tamang bracket ng contribution. Nangyari ito usually, kagaya niya, nagbago tayo ng contribution ng January 2025. What if nung 2024 nag-advance ka na ng contribution hanggang 2025, di ba? Nagbago tayo ng contribution rate, nabago yung bracket natin. So yung rate na pinambayad mo for 2025 is contribution equivalent for same ng 2024. So there will be underpayments, no? So pagdating ng retirement, kung hindi mo yan napansin ngayon, papabayaran mo na yung underpayments para ma-process. So ganun. And pagdating sa abrupt increase ng contribution, we have rules, no? If yung member natin is 55 years old na pataas, okay, pwede lang kayo mag-change ng contribution bracket one step every year. Pero, pag below 55, pwede kayong minimum, maximum, minimum, walang limit yun. Diba? Pero pag 55 years old na pataas, one step na lang per calendar year. Para every January, pwede kayo magpalit. For the entire year, hanggang dun lang na bracket, makapag-change lang ulit kayo the following year na. So once every year lang and one step lang dun sa ating contribution table. Okay? So, paano naman kung meron mga contributions bago yung date of coverage? Date of coverage, ito yung parang official na date ng membership ninyo kay SSS. And kung nagkaroon ng mga contributions prior to that, kailangan muna yan manual verification. So, pag nag-file kayo ng retirement over the counter, request lang din yan. I think meron din yung form na baka ipa-accomplish sa inyo para doon sa request for manual verification. And then, magwi-wait muna tayo after nung manual verif, saka po yung makakapag-file, ipa-process yung retirement claim ninyo. Okay? Yan. Ito naman, isa pa, invalid coverage, walang self-employed na details. Kasi, ito nangyayari, even before, no, na madalas kasi parang ang isip natin, pag voluntary and self-employed na membership pareho lang. No? And then yung iba, pag ako ng SS number, hinuhulugan agad nila personally yung kanilang contribution as voluntary member. So that case invalid kasi yun. Ang voluntary na membership is, una, totally different from self-employed. Self-employed kasi kailangan merong source of income eh. Like business or nagpa-practice ka ng profession mo. Yan, self-employed yun. Ang voluntary, pwede lang, kung meron ka ng contribution dati, gusto lang ipagpatuloy sa ngayon. That's the only time na pwedeng voluntary member. Kasi kung pag first time, pinakaunang contribution is voluntary, that will be invalid. Kaya nagkakaroon ng invalid coverage. Kung sakali naman, interviewing kayo dun sa branch, no? And kung maalala ninyo and you can provide proof na that time, meron din naman kayong source of income, hindi lang talaga na-declare, kaya nag-voluntary kayo. And in good faith, you thought that voluntary member and being a self-employed is the same. So, pwede naman yun. Yan. Pero over-the-counter na yung filing. Maaaring pa-submit kayo ng affidavit of earnings or self-employment, then over-the-counter na yung filing niya. Yan. Tapos, para naman doon sa mga retiree pensioners natin, no? Okay. Retiree pensioners natin na merong mga loans na hindi nabayaran. No? I would suggest na apply muna tayo ng consul loan. Kasi parang tayong condonation program ngayon eh. Kasi pag meron kayong unpaid loan obligation, yan, past due na din, hindi nabayaran, talagang past due, unpaid, pagdating ng retirement, ibinabawas po kasi yun ng buo. So, as much as possible, before filing for retirement, file nyo muna ng conso loan or condo donation natin. In that way, mababawasan yung loan balance niyo kasi 100% of the penalty will be waived. So, kung after nun, mag-file na kayo ng retirement, ang maibabawas na lang sa benefit ninyo under retirement is yung principal and interest. So, malaking bagay din na mawawala yung 100% ng penalty. So again, if you have unpaid loan obligation or someone mag-file in retirement and has unpaid loan obligation, advise them to apply first for conso loan before filing for retirement. Diba? So, yan, yung future date of contingency naman, na-discuss na natin to kanina yung mga naghabol ng contribution up to 120th month. We have to adjust yung date of retirement nila sa mga susunod na buwan para consider pa rin yung 120th month and eventually qualify for a monthly pension. So, ayun, actually, tapos na din yung ating presentation for retirement. Pagdating sa ating computation ng formula, alam ko mabilis lang din naman na-discuss natin yun. But again, meron naman tayong benefit calculator. You can check that one out. And one important tip lang na masasabi ko pagdating sa retirement benefit is as early as now, monitor your record. Kung meron kayo napansin ng mga for correction, have them corrected as early as now. Wag nating antayan na mag-file ng retirement sakalang kasi it could cause delay dun sa processing ng mismong retirement benefit. So that's it. Hindi pa tayo tapos. We'll be answering some questions later. But before that, let me hand over the virtual floor to our meeting moderators muna for some few reminders.
Ayan, maraming salamat, Sir Forte Remandemen, who discussed our SSS retirement benefit. So, bago tayo mag-proceed sa Q&A natin, ginather natin through our chat facility, ito katambal to ng retirement pension dahil ang mga retiree pensioner natin sa SSS ay eligible or pwede na mag-apply ng SSS pension loan. So napakaganda nitong pension loan natin dahil dito maaaring makapangutang yung ating retiree pensioner na ang up to 200,000. One key feature din natin sa SSS pension loan ay under na siya ng credit life insurance. So kung ano man mangyari sa ating retiree pensioner, hindi na to ibibigay or ililipat sa mga naiwang mahal sa buhay ng yumaong miyembro. Bagkos magiging fully paid na siya, So parang totally fully paid na talaga yung loan natin. So again, this is the SSS pension loan program kung saan kalahati lang or 47% lang ng pension or retirement pension yung gagawing pangbayad doon sa ating inutang at yung kalahati matatanggap pa rin ang ating retiree pensioner. So, hindi na kailangang isang lapa yung ATM katulad ng mga nasa lending companies or private lending companies na nakikita natin outside. So, ayun, tungo na tayo sa ating Q&A. So, Sir Forte, ready na ba tayo for our Q&A?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Ready na.
For our question number 1, this is from our anonymous participant. Sayang hindi na nalagay ni Ma'am Sir yung kanyang pangalan. Anyway, the question is separated employee has applied for a conso loan and will begin his first amortization payment in June 2025. Is set to turn 60 in October 2025. Can he still claim his retirement benefits in October despite the loan?
Thank you for this question, and I'm happy na before, as mentioned nga kanina, before mag-apply ng retirement benefit, was able to apply for conso loan kasi at least mababawasan nga yung loan balance when the time comes na para sa application ng retirement. And to answer this one, yes, definitely makapag-apply pa rin naman ng retirement by October when he turns 60, provided na hindi na siya nagwo-work o separated employee naman na din. So, pwede siyang mag-apply kung magkano yung remaining balance sa conso loan niya, yun na lang ibabawas doon sa retirement benefit na matatanggap niya. Pero pwede mag-apply by October pag nag-60 na ho siya. Thank you.
And thank you, Sir Forte. So, for our question number 2, this is from Miss Jasmine Caliboso. So, shout out. Good morning sa iyo, Ma'am Jasmine. Hi sir, pwede bang mag-retire at 61? Wala nang trabaho.
Okay. Hi, Ma'am Jasmine. Maraming salamat for this question. Definitely, yes, pwede na mag-retire if no longer connected na from work or halimbawa, kung nung 60 wala na din naman na siyang work tapos qualified na din sa monthly pension, no? So, baka mayroon kasi tayong retroactive payment din ng benefit provided na halimbawa late lang na file pero yun nga, by the age of 60 qualified na din naman siya for retirement, na i-file lang ng 61 pero hindi nakapag-work nung time na yon. So maring retroactive din. Pero kung at 61, lately lang din na separate from employment, pwede na mag-file po ng retirement benefit. Thank you.
And thank you Sir Forty. So for our question number 3, this is from Nilda Rapisora. Are safety officers who are working in mining companies qualified for a 55-year-old retirement?
Okay, good question. The answer is yes, pwede po. Pagdating naman sa mga mine workers natin, surface or underground mine workers, pwede sila, entitled sila dun sa lower na retirement age. Kaya lang yun nga, kailangan naging mine worker for at least 5 years po. Either tuloy-tuloy naman yon or pinagsama-sama. So pwede naman ho. Thank you.
Ayan. So yun, shout out Ma'am Nilda, no? So for our question number 4, again, anonymous, sayang di namin na shout out yung pangalan nyo. So, Ma'am Sir, good morning. If 65 years old is compulsory retirement, does that mean if an employee is employed beyond 65 years of age, can no longer be contributing to SSS?
Oh, yes, definitely. Kung halimbawa din qualified na for monthly pension and magfa-file na din for retirement. 65 since it is our compulsory retirement age, no? Qualified na for filing ng retirement, meron ng 120 months ng contributions. Ang nangyayari dyan, pwedeng mag-work, will also be entitled to pension na, pero wala nang deduction for contributions. Diba? So maring tumanggap na siya ng monthly pension, yung sahod niya, tatanggap niya, and wala na din siyang deduction for SSS pag 65 years old. So, yun yung nangyayari dyan. Okay. So, yes, hindi na talaga babawasan. Pwede na mag-file para makatanggap din ng pension while working and tumatanggap ng sahod. Pero pag below 65, yun yung hindi pa pwede. Talagang compulsory pa rin, mandatory pa rin yung coverage and deduction for contribution until ma-separate or mag-65, whichever comes first. Thank you.
Ayan. Thank you, Sir Forty. So, for our last question, again, this is from anonymous, no? So shout out sa iyo, ma'am or sir. The monthly pension amount or computation will not affected po ba kahit na may gaps? Thanks.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you for this question, no. Well, it kind of affects, no, yung dun sa computation. Kung ang titignan natin kasi 'di ba may factors yung AMSC and CYS. When we look into AMSC na average monthly salary credit na computation, hindi naman gaano kahit may mga gaps. Or eligibility for monthly pension. Kung meron at least 120 months, kahit may gaps, okay, qualified pa rin naman sa pension, di ba? Pero pagdating sa CYS, baka dun maka-apekto kasi, di ba, pagdating sa letter B na computation natin, if you recall it, if you remember it, dun sa letter B between 1985 to 2001, kailangan every calendar year merong at least 6 na contribution for us to count one CYS. Kung 5 lang kasi yun, nabitin ng isa, so hindi na yun makakount yung buong taon na yun, we'll skip and move on to the next year. So, ganun, it could affect in determining the CYS, pero sa AMSC and eligibility for monthly pension, I don't think it has that big of an impact. Pero, yun nga, generally speaking, makaka-apekto pa rin. Pagdating sa computation, especially na lang siguro pagdating sa computation or determining the credited years of service. Yan. Thank you.
And maraming salamat. Once again, Sir Forte Ramandeman, who discussed the SSS retirement benefit.
Asahan ang kabalikat ng bayan, handog sa miyembro, serbisyong magkabago.